My name is Mwangi. I am a lecturer in the Department of Biochemistry, Microbiology, and Biotechnology at Kenyatta University. In Kenya, there has been quite some effort to improve banana production, but this focus has mainly been on dessert bananas, the commercial varieties, and very little effort has been put on cooking bananas. And so I decided to embark on improvement of cooking bananas. Fast forward, in 2016, there was an announcement by the International Plant Biotechnology Organization in Belgium of a course that was happening at Kawaanda in Uganda at the National Agricultural Research Organization on new breeding techniques for bananas. So I applied for the course, and luckily I was admitted among 20 other African scientists for the course that was taking 2 weeks. So during the course, there were presentations on major breakthroughs in banana breeding, both by top global banana breeders and also by scientists from across Africa. And as I sat through the course, what struck me was that there were major breakthroughs, both in conventional breeding and in biotechnology improvement of bananas. But to my disappointment, none of that research was happening in Kenya. And I sat there and asked myself, what is going on? Why is Kenya being left behind? So I sat there and I was wondering, what can I do? Now, one of the major breakthroughs that interested me during those presentations was the introduction or the development of new varieties of cooking bananas that are high yielding, disease resistant, and which had been evaluated in Uganda and Tanzania and shown high consumer and farmer acceptability. As I said, banana is my favorite food, and I have an interest in cooking bananas. So this really became very interesting for me, and I felt that I needed to do something about bringing those hybrids to Kenya. Now, the hybrids are referred to as NARITAs, and the scientists have developed 27 new varieties which are under evaluation. So as I wondered what I can do to ensure that Kenya is not being left behind by the other East African countries, I decided to be bold enough. And during the break, I spoke to Professor Ronnie Swenen, the brain behind the NARITAs, and I expressed my concern to him. Professor Swenen listened to me keenly, and he gave me his word that the next time there's an opportunity, we shall try and apply for research funding to bring the NARITA hybrids to Kenya. And this was very encouraging for me. In the evenings, after the training, I would sit back and start developing a concept focusing on evaluation of the NARITA hybrids in Kenya. By coincidence, the Kenya National Research Fund announced a grant on food security at the same time. So I looked at the grant and I found that my idea fitted very well with the call. So I called my colleagues back home, and I also contacted some of the partners from IITA and other African countries, and we agreed to develop a concept. So when I came back to Kenya, I put together a team, and we actually developed the proposal and submitted to the NRF in November of 2016. Now, the results for the proposal were to come out in January. So as I went for Christmas, I was having a mixed of anxiety and hope. I had felt that we had put up the best proposal. After all, I had all these great information, fresh information. But to my disappointment, January came and the proposal was not among those that were funded. I felt like sinking, but my dream of bringing NARITAs to Kenya was still ringing in my mind. So I decided I was not going to give up and I would look for other options. Luckily, 2 months down the line, I received a call from Mark Hedge from the International Plant Biotechnology Organization in Belgium, which had funded the course that I had attended in Uganda. Mark asked if I could meet him as he was transiting through Nairobi. He asked if I could meet him at Kenyatta University. I live 30 kilometers from the university and I only go there when I must, especially because of the traffic in Nairobi. And I would have looked for an excuse not to go to meet Mark. But I naturally said yes. Mark did not tell me why he wanted to see me. I thought he was just catching up, So when I met him, he told me, do you remember you had wanted to put up a proposal to evaluate NARITAs in Kenya? And I said, yes, of course I do remember, and I'm still working on it. So he said, oh, have you seen the call from the long-term Europe-Africa program, which is on food security? I said, not really, I haven't seen, and the way I've been looking out. He said, okay, come. So we sat in my lab, we opened the laptop, and there was the call on food security, and it was looking for partnerships between Europe and Africa. Mark was in the process of establishing a team, and he had already brought on board NARO Uganda and partners from Belgium. And I automatically fitted in as the Kenyan partner. So we sat together, came up, and we didn't have to take too much time because the ideas was already in my mind. It was clear that for me, what I wanted as part of that project is to evaluate the hybrids, the NARITA hybrids, to bring them to Kenya, to ensure that we are moving at the same pace with our East African neighbors. So we wrote the proposal, and luckily, out of the 200 applicants, 27 grants were given, and one of the grants came to us. And the grant was to support what we are calling Climate Smart Banana Project, or CRISPR-BAN, which stands for Development and Evaluation of Climate Resilient, High-Yielding Banana Varieties for Europe and Africa. So we got very excited and embarked on the project. And right now, as I speak to you, we have already brought the NARITA hybrids from the IITA, where they are held at the Transit Center. We have multiplied them in our tissue culture lab. We have hardened them in the greenhouse. And currently, they have already bunched. It is already done. The NARITAs are in the Kenyan soil. We are working very closely with the farmers to evaluate the best or the preferred varieties based on farmer preferences. We are not going to push down the throat of our farmers the hybrids that have been accepted elsewhere. We want to work with them through a participatory, gender-responsive approach so that they select the varieties that suit their preferences in terms of yield, in terms of cooking qualities, in terms of taste, and so on. So for me, it's a dream come true. The NARITAs are here. I've pioneered the evaluation of NARITAs in Kenya, and I cannot wait to see the Kenyan farmers Kenyan people having more food on the table and smiling all the way to the bank for the farmers especially. Thank you.